All right, everyone, we are here with War 10 against TCN. Now, I'm doing this video the night I finished my wars, so that you guys don't think I'm bored of using Apocalypse. So I'm going in with Apocalypse, Cable, and Immortal Abomination this war. So taking the first, it's the first time taking a Defiance champ in for a Mystic Dispersion champ. I think I took Falcon in, but it wasn't for a Mystic Dispersion champ. So I'm pretty excited about bringing in Immortal Abomination, and I'm excited for these new-ish Apocalypse fights. So I got Path 7 in Section 1, and I've got Path 1 in Section 2, and then I have a few shared fights along the way, along with 2 mini-bosses on Boss Island. So quite the fight load today. And if you've seen any of my other Apocalypse fights, that usually means a lot on the item use. But believe it or not, we actually finished this war with 12 items used, and I think it might be because I focused on 1 hour boosts, just because I wasn't sure on timing. But first node here, Power Reserve and Conflictor with Mephisto. We're not worried about the Conflictor, we're worried about the Power Reserve. We're actually quite worried about a lot of things here, but I was kind of hoping of getting an Incinerate immunity here. So we're going to use the usual plan, which is to build to Special 2 and then drop it. But we are going to bait out a special attack before doing so. Looking back, I should have tried to bait out 2. But I did want to try and bait this out with the Imprisonment gone. And unfortunately, there's Dexterity that gets added. Now we have the Concussion on here, and you're going to notice that aura isn't giving him power. So we got lucky with the concussion there, preventing that. He could have been pushed to Special 3 here. He would have sucked all our power, and then we would have had to just brawl him down. But because concussion prevented that from happening, we're just able to throw this next Special 2. I think I still would have survived after a Special 3, but he would have had crazy power gain and power left over from Power Reserve. Next, I took Suicides off. I was half Suicides for that fight. Here we're max Inequity and Resonate running. We're going to be taking this Doom with Immortal Abomination, and this is just to really avoid, both to get rid of Doom's aura, so that we don't deal with an unblockable Special 2, but also to avoid feeding Mystic Dispersion. There are definitely other options for this, but given the fights that I had later, we went with Immortal Abomination. Now, what I was feeling out here was the duration of this Petrify. If it was going to last long enough, I was going to try to push to Special 2. But what you'll see throughout the fight is that the AI is not really throwing Special 1 right away, and I'm having to spend some of the Petrify duration trying to get the Special 1s out. So I just kind of stuck with Special 1 the entire fight to keep a Petrify alive the entire time. Now, had he thrown a Special 1 with a Petrified down, that probably would have been my window to kind of wait it out as I built the Special 2. And you saw I had, or probably didn't see, but I had put on Science Boosts in case I was going to get a Special 2 off. But I would have used Special 2 once his aura fell, and then gone back into the Special 1 cycle. My Immortal Abomination is only Sig 20, so obviously a higher Sig would help with the duration, but this is just fine. It's just a longer fight due to the Vivified increasing the combat power gain, and me having to get this AI to throw this Special 1 every time. What you should notice is that most of the damage that I'm taking is from Brute Force. It's not from blocking his special attacks. It's not from anything else getting hit. It's just from the time it's taking him to throw Special 1. But yeah, pretty safe strategy here. Definitely not the fastest if you're worried about time. Mr. Fantastic would definitely excel really well here. It's just parry heavy the whole time and throw Special 2, and there's our Brute Force, so I decided to get it off. But yeah, really safe option here. This is a rank 4 Doom. I also have Max Despair, so if you're one of those oddballs that likes running Max Inequity and Resonate, and Immortal Abomination is right up your alley. So easy solo. Next, we had our second tricky Apocalypse fight. We had seen a video of Apocalypse taking this kitty without dexterity on, and he actually used full suicides and took kitty out in one special 2. I'm going to do half here, since the matchup I saw was a rank 3 Apocalypse versus a rank 4 Kitty Pryde, and I have a rank 4 Apocalypse versus rank 3 Kitty Pryde. So that's where the Incinerate immunity was coming into play. I was somewhat worried that if I did have to deal with an unblockable special 1 due to no dexterity, that Incinerate would definitely kill me. So the immunity would definitely help. But what you're going to see from this fight is that there's probably not enough blocked hits to get the special 1 to be unblockable before you take her out. So wasn't expecting a quick light attack there from her, which got her stunned when she had over 3 prowess, since she didn't dash it in phase. Was not comfortable with that heavy, was going to retaliate too slow, so to avoid getting stunned, I just waited. And here I'm waiting for a good heavy that I'm ready for, which is right there, to throw the next special 2 and just finish the job. So definitely a very quick, very smooth option for Kitty here. We've been sending Nimrod, and he hasn't been doing too well. So Apocalypse, definitely an option when you can't fit Silver Centurion because he's not taking any other fights. Anti-Venom here. Now, this is a unique fight. Since this node has Reinvigorate and gives regen when you're dashing back, and this is a duped Anti-Venom, it means that basic attacks are going to give him a regen passive, and each one of those counts towards the Reinvigorate. So what should happen, and what I kind of expected, is by the time I get to Special 2, or even during Special 2, Anti-Venom should go unblockable. And I think he does right at the end because I'm dashing back. So here's the first Special 2. You can see the charges building. I'm going to end up dashing back here to make room. There's the unblockable. And what I'm going to do is use Apocalypse stun through block to finish the job. So we do that full combo to push to Special 2, and then we take him out. So who cares about unblockable? Had thought that was going to be exactly how it played out prior to the fight, except with a special 1 from Anti-Venom and not a special 2. Stryfe here on Buffet, going to take it with Apocalypse as well. How we're going to purposely trigger the global is we're actually going to parry and push him back with a full combo, and then just naturally dex, and Buffet is going to eat the dexterity, and it's going to trigger the global, and then we're just going to wait out this miss. And as long as he's not at 5 charges as we're trying to build the special 2, he shouldn't go invisible, mainly because special attacks reveal his location. So you're going to see these charges drop, glance, there it is, not invisible because it's during a special attack. So we're fine. He doesn't have enough charges for the second special 2, but we're not even doing any basic attacks before it. Down he goes. So Apocalypse just overpowering things, and that was the end of his war. And no, I'm not bored using it. And then we make Cable a Horseman here for Surfer. Same kind of deal. I'm going to be aggressive at the start, and then Buffet is going to trigger the global for us. And I'm going to intentionally trigger Dexterity before I reach a bar of power. I believe I just parry heavy, actually, until... No, it was there. I missed the go-in parry. So now we're just going to wait for the global. So now we have 20 seconds. No worry, missed another parry, but Horseman Unstoppable kicked in, so we just retaliated like as if we just parried. Now it's just a parry heavy game. I'm actively watching that global timer to make sure that I'm not throwing a heavy when it's about to end, because I don't want Cable's own buffs triggering the miss tactic in the middle of my heavy. And then there's the miss, waiting for it to end, and miss the block, big deal. Throws a heavy here, we do 2 swings, and down it goes. So, pretty easy Cable fight, but his war is not over. I have the Safeguard mini, which is Misty Knight here. We have a White Magneto pre-fight for a passive stun. I tested in a quest how long the stun would last compared to Cable's heavy, and Cable's heavy lasts the full duration of the stun, and there's still a little bit of stun after the heavy. So this is a safe option. She won't shrug the passive stun. She may shrug some of the degen, but it's not a very high chance at all. So the game plan here was just to parry heavy and then bait special 1. Now, baiting special 1 and her throwing special 1 will keep her from reaching equilibrium to where she gets the unblockable with basic attacks. And then us having to wait out 6 seconds for it to go away. But however, because of how many times we parry, she is going to have an unblockable special 1, so you have to have the dodging or the dex timing down for it, which isn't hard at all. You can see here. I just wouldn't retaliate it like I did once. I think I retaliated heavy because she does have a chance to evade, so I was purposefully hitting her while she's stunned. And then the last fight of my war is getting to use a Defiance champ against a Mystic Dispersion champ. Mortal Abomination against this Mojo on Hazard Shift. Game plan here is while he's in Incinerate to hit into his block so that we don't get cornered. We're going to PS1. We have Max Inequity and Resonate, so we actually aren't going to take a lot of damage at all when we're blocking. But we're going to push him into his wall when it's the Incinerate phase, when we have openings to hit into his block. And here there are going to be a few, I'll say, ill-timed just parries on my part, forcing out heavies from him. And then he's going to get a little passive here during the poison phase, but we need to try and get an opening here. I felt I was late on that heavy. Try and get an opening here so that we can really just lay into him, creating more space. And I don't get it till the end of the poison phase, so we're going to wait the next one out. And obviously when we have time, bait out the special 1 attack. Trying to pay attention to prompts when we can, but if I'm being honest, I didn't actually pay attention to him. I just paid attention to his own power and when he was at special 1, baiting it out. So here's another poison phase. Special 2 first, we get that acid aura up. Now we're gonna go ahead and try and he had a special 2, so I had to block it out. Finally got it. And then now it's just special 1s to the end of the fight. I do go unblockable a couple times and I'm aware of that, so I do 1 hits and then I wait in case I get an Incinerate on myself like I did there. Now we're good to just lay into him. Felt like I had time on that acid aura to build or do a full combo, pushing him back more. We got that special 1 out. Now we're just punishing him after he throws heavy attacks. Was about to end the poison phase there and actually did not see that I was unblockable. So back into the Incinerate phase here. We've got enough poisons. The nice thing about the poison phase of this Hazard Shift is that it'll help us keep our aura up. So as long as we're aggressive on that and throwing special 1s, we can acid burn him the whole fight. And yeah, this is pretty smooth, full yellow bar. I was pretty happy with my exciting war for War 10. RBG beat their BG 2-1, so this is a good war for us. And then we barely squeaked by with a 4-3 win over TCN. If it had tied, we would have lost on time. So pretty good war from us. We're back in that 3-death range. Not any lower than it, but at least we brought it back down from the 7 and 6 prior to this war. Fate of top 3 is really up to how things shake up with matchmaking and win-loss with the other alliances, so it's not really in our hands. The only job we have is to win out the season. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe, like, and share, and I will catch you guys at the next one.